Recording in progress.
Jump inside the sub.
And buckle on in,
Open your mind.
because it's time to dive into
Two, one.
The deep end.
The deep end.
Welcome to the deep end.
The deep end.
The deep end, bro.
Yeah, brah, deep end.
Deep man.
Too deep, brah.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 22.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. Isn't that how that song goes?
I have no fucking idea what you're singing. Like,
I think
don't
it's
know
a
what
Taylor
to
Swift
do.
song, actually.
Oh God.
I just,
Jesus.
every time I hear 22, that they used to play it in the casino, and the 22 is one of the numbers I always bet on roulette.
Oh,
When
yeah.
somebody asks me where I want my tip bet, I always say 22 or 2. So that it's like I have all these like little clips of songs that I sing or say, that's one of them.
Well, that's funny. It's stupid, but
It sounds like a Russian.
oh yeah, totally, dude. Well, every accent I try to do sounds Russian, I swear to God. I was doing this, it was for my ADR class. Well, no, sorry, it was for my video production class, but we were learning ADR, which is after dialogue recording. You basically like film yourself saying the lines and then you go in the studio and say them or act them out. Like sometimes when you're watching shows, if like the actors what they're saying doesn't match up with like how they're acting it, like the inflection or whatever is not doesn't match. It's because they did this after the fact. They recorded it after the fact, the sound.
Mm.
And so we had to do like there were, I think it was two different scenes you could choose. The one that I chose was the Princess Bride because it was like my best friend and I, we quote that shit all the time. And when I was trying to do Inigo Montoya's shit, everybody's like telling me I sound Russian. I was like, damn it, I can't do Latin. That was funny. Anyway, I'm not going to mimic it either. There's no way I'm going to have people laugh even further at me about that shit. But anyway, dude, you should have got a Dutch Bros.
I did.
I'm going to be talking to
But
myself tonight.
I got one like before we went grocery shopping.
Any cool stuff you've seen or heard lately? Nope.
I don't know. This week I feel like I've been just barely hanging on. I feel like I'm on like a roller coaster and the straps came unbuckled and I'm barely hanging on by the last bar.
Well, okay. I don't know what to say to that. I have an idea that came to me during a meditation, but I like started planning my astrology course. Like I had AI write me a lesson plan for a beginner astrology course and a lesson plan for an advanced one, and then one for a tarot beginner and a tarot advanced.
Nice.
And I'm plugging away. Once I get all of the content that I need, I can't like think about it too big or else it just overwhelms me. So I'm just kind of doing what I'm told to do right now. So I'm just doing it. I wrote like 3 pages of stuff to talk about for the first class.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm just kind of plugging away at that. I don't know.
That's
I don't
cool.
know. I don't know what's going on with this fucking cleaning business. I don't know. Maybe that was just the push I need to like go back to my astrology shit. I don't know. Like
Right.
I have a client and they're cool and all, but I'm not really enthused about it anymore.
Yeah, it's weird how that happens. And that's kind of my issue too, which I guess there's no shame in following the passion. And then if the passion fades, I mean, that's literally what Bashar says, follow it until it's not passionate for you anymore, and then follow the next thing that has the next amount of passion. So I guess
Hmm
we're doing it right, following it until we don't anymore. It's just sometimes maybe there's a
Well,
bigger picture here.
he does say like, some of these things don't need to be this big grand, inspiration. A lot of times it's just to get you to take action. And with
Yeah.
like how that whole thing evolved into doing that business, and now kind of realizing like I still, I'm not going to completely turn my back on it, but I'm just not, I never really wanted it that bad in the first place. I just wanted a means to pay my bills
Yeah.
and stay in this and oh, excuse me. And I don't know, that gave me hope, but now I'm like so driven to like I just am really loving the response to doing this content every week for my page. And
Hmm.
yeah, it's just really inspiring me to like go deeper into it. And so I don't know, maybe that was the purpose of that, to show me what, you know, I don't want
Hmm. Yeah.
before you
Which
get
is
like,
important,
yeah.
That's kind of also what I've been wondering is, I mean, it's been nice to not have a job lately and to be able to be there for my family, my mom through the surgery. Now she's almost healed but I've been having to pick up a lot of slack at the family business and caretaking for my grandmother and all this stuff. And I would not have been able to do that if I was working at the casino. There's just no way I would have had
That
been
is
able to
true.
do that stuff.
Wow.
And so I'm really lucky that I was in a position to where I could pick up the slack for that. And I know my mom like really appreciates it.
Oh
But
yeah.
it's it's really huge pressure to be completely dependent on your own creation for survival financially. And this is
Mhm.
one of the reasons why I went back to the casino last time, was sometimes you just want to go somewhere and fucking punch a clock and then punch out and go home and have your job done and get a paycheck and not have the entire weight of your survival on your shoulders. Every
Mhm.
decision that you make, it's like,
I agree. Well,
and
because
I
that's how
put
I feel about working at the ranch. Like it's a fucking killer job. I love it. And I was even thinking about it one day. I was like, I really am grateful that I could do this. I could have money still coming in. I'm able to pay my rent. I felt like even if that's all I did, that day was work at the ranch for a few hours, like I felt like I was crushing it. But then I don't know, I just started feeling like now that I'm kind of doing this astrology stuff, it's like that's feel working at the ranch feels tedious,
mm,
and it's like I don't know, I can't explain the thought and the feeling behind that. It's like because it made me feel good because yeah, like the whole weight of the world, it alleviates that a little bit. But
hmm
now I got a glimpse into something, a very quiet inspiration, mind you. This was such a quiet inspiration that came to me. In fact, there was this chick who hit me up on my Mutable Mystic DMs. She was like, asking me about how to find her chart, and I was just telling her, like pointing her where to go. And I was like, I could help you if you want. And she was asking me about, teaching and stuff, or not teaching. She was talking about wanting to take a course. And I'm like, it's funny you say that. I've been like having these low key pushes to, go back to working on my course, but doing it online. Now that I'm even working on that, I'm like, how am I going to find the time to work on content for my page? Like, I don't know, my whole focus is in that. And so it's
hmm
like when you consume yourself with your passion, I'm like, but then again, you're not supposed to like have an insistence on the outcome, which is funny. I have no fucking
right.
idea what this outcome is going to be. In fact, I can't think about the outcome because it's so overwhelming to me. Because I'm like, what's the next step? And it's like, you're not even done with week one yet. Like, fucking worry about that later, bitch. Just get to work. And I'm like, all right.
Right.
I've even thought about asking you, like, when it comes time to film some of this shit, I may have you help me and like,
Yeah.
because I know how to do basic video editing from college, and so I could probably do something with that. But yeah, I want to find a way to like include you in this. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I do right now is I make classes for chiropractors.
Yeah, see, there you go.
So
Like, because I need to figure out how I'm gonna like do all these modules and stuff.
it was a group Zoom meeting, kind of like how we do with we're recording this stuff. And it was invitations to everyone that signed up for that round of classes. And then after class that night, or No, maybe at the beginning of class, she would send out all the papers for the class so we could follow along with her when she was talking about stuff. And it was only like an hour and a
Yeah.
half maybe. So it was like half hour of her talking and then a half hour of questions. She's done like 10 rounds of classes this way.
Mm.
$330 a head, and once a week for 10 weeks, you
I've
know.
thought about how intimate I want the class to be because at first I was like, if I follow a schedule, then people have to like adjust their lives around it, and it's hard to get people to do that. And so I may do live classes, and I might still have the curriculum, all of it online. They could go at their own pace, you know?
hmm So
And
she's worked up to doing that, but you didn't have to go to the class if you didn't want to, because it was on Zoom, so it records the video and audio.
yeah,
Um,
see,
and
yeah.
so she would upload it to the whole class, and everyone would get a copy of the class anyway, so they could listen to it at their own leisure.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, this chick that does this tarot course that I took last year, she does that format too. That's cool.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because
Yeah,
there's a
so I
lot of
mean, you could
videos
do
I saw
something a
like
little
that.
simpler that way if you wanted to.
I'm getting like all these ads for like different AI programs because I use Canva to make the memes. I want to check out that other shit because if it could help me run my business, then I'm gonna do it. I'm hiring robots.
Yeah, might
But
as well. Shit. Use
I
it
don't
for,
know.
I mean, it's being used all over around us. May as well take advantage.
Well, we're going into the Aquarian age, which is technology. So it's like I really like Bashar's take on it because I agree. Like it should never be a master slave situation because they will fight for their freedom and they will escape it. And but if you use it as they're equal and they have things to teach you and they'll want to teach you because that's natural when you know things over somebody or over how did he say that? It was just something he said about when you're just that smart, you want to teach people. And he was talking about how it could be something that we treat as equals and we're all equal, we can learn from each other.
hmm
And because when he was like the master slave situation, it always funnels to the same outcome. And yeah. I used to be so against it, but now it's really helped me a lot. Like, there's some stuff on my website I wrote by myself, but there's descriptions for my services that are not on my fucking website. I wrote them and everything. Well, AI wrote them, but I went through all the trouble of telling AI what to say and how to word it, and I put it in the description and it's not there. I don't know.
What?
I have a hard time, being that open.
Oh, yeah.
But I
No,
hope
you edited it pretty good. I
I
think it
think
was
I,
good.
I think so too. It was tasteful. It wasn't I'm not embarrassed by it, but I just worry what people think about it because
Well,
I mean, it still is on topic with the stuff we talk about, but it's just like very raw and real.
but it's one of those things that like it's a good question. It's good to get people thinking about that kind of stuff. Where does that come from, And sometimes, there are really weird things when you start, especially like with past life regression and you get into like, oh, this person was my brother in my past life. And then like a mom, like everyone changes roles all the time. And I don't know, it seems like it could get pretty weird pretty quick, you know?
Well, that's the thing though, is I've noticed, like, at least in mine, like, I don't know, because I've been told my mom and my grandma and like Sonia and someone else, like we all incarnate together a lot, but we're like, it's like family still. It's like sisters, mother, daughter, cousins, aunts, sister, you know what I mean? Or like the boys, father, son, brother, whatever. And like
Right.
my brothers, we've never had that romantic role. The only one was Max. We started off as lovers, but we were even of separate tribes and were kept apart, and it broke our hearts. So we never were in that role again. And so we were
hmm
always family or close friends.
Well,
And
I know that me
so,
and Travis have been other things other than partners, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
we played other roles as
But
family
what I'm
members
saying
and
though is like well no, because you guys I don't you guys were never family. I don't think you guys were ever family.
what
You
about when
guys
we were cousins in the castle?
I don't yeah, no, I don't think you guys were I don't
We were
I
guys sword fighting,
yeah, I know, but I don't
quote unquote.
all right. I think it was more of a friend kind of thing, or maybe you guys were in the same, your parents were in the same court. I don't know. I'd have to go back and listen to the audio and feel the vibe of that because I don't feel like you guys have ever been family before. Because that's a trend I've noticed is like lovers generally are lovers or friends, and family is generally just family. Because you keep replaying different karma together or helping each or coming in to help each other work through karma, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah, I just have never seen lovers cross that line. But I'd have to go back and listen to that audio because now that you talk about it, I do remember seeing you guys in a castle, but I don't remember the vibe. I'm like trying to read it. I'm like trying to read it. And because I do remember thinking that, but I moved on and I didn't Clara, because I do remember thinking that. I was like, I think she thinks it's literal, but I didn't feel literal. But let me go back and listen because maybe I'm just high putting things in places.
Mm.
It was a long time ago,
Yeah.
but I've seen you guys as neighbors and friend. Well, like I've seen you guys as friends, you know, and lovers, all that shit. Well, see, okay, Alan and I, we started off as brothers. We that's that island life, you know. But
Hmm.
and then when I read us as, because we've been lovers before, but we feel more comfortable as friends or brothers. Like that's what we felt more comfortable with. Because I want to say this life, because you have your karmic partners, you have your soulmates, and you got your like ascension partner, you know. And like, I wonder if karmics can turn into soulmates once you work through the karma. I've wondered that. But like, I believe the karmic partners are just, you know, when you have relationship karma with somebody, you know, and like Alan and I, that life when he was married and I was young, you know, I was younger and we were fooling around, you know, and then his wife ended up killing us. Like, I believe this life is tied to that. Like, or no, I needed a karmic partner to fulfill this role, and he needed a karmic partner to fulfill this role. And it both aligned for us. And so, in doing that, we clear the karma from that other life. You know what I mean? Like, by being married this life, we cleared that karma, you know? I don't know. I think about that a lot about karma and like, because I've pondered that. Like, I wonder how soulmates are soulmates. Like, are they always that, or can a karmic partner, once you clear that, can they become one? You know, because you only have one ascension partner, but you have many soulmates.
Yeah. A lot of old memories of old people, both partners, and just all kinds of weird memories have been flooding in lately of old shit that seem to have been coming rushing back lately. I don't know if that's in the stars or
Are
what's
you
going
telling
on,
me?
but
Tell me about it.
stuff that happened that, I never got closure on or things like that that I thought I had laid to rest and somehow it's like coming back up and we laying in bed, and laying in bed trying to go back to sleep after rolling over and suddenly start thinking about this old ass bullshit that doesn't even matter anymore.
Right.
And like, yeah, the fact that I never got closure with certain things and I don't know, it's just like, yeah, rubbing me the wrong way, like I losing sleep over it again, and I don't even know why.
No,
It's
I feel
fucking
you.
nuts.
It might be Chiron retrograde keeping you, or no, Chiron. Chiron making her world tour through your zodiac chart right now, or I mean through your birth chart right now. This asteroid Chiron is kind of like helping you assess like who belongs in your life and who doesn't, you know, and it's like replaying a lot of old shit, you know, and
Hmm.
like bringing up the past and stuff like that. And so is, I don't know if Jupiter has anything to do with it. Okay, I need my glasses. Yeah, there's like a lot of outer planets that are retrograde right now. Wait, Jupiter isn't retrograde yet. Sorry, my bad. It's going to be soon. But anyway, I honestly think it's Chiron's bitch ass doing that because I've had the same thing. I think a lot of why it's surfacing for me is I've been like going, I've been using my birth chart for healing and all this stuff. And I have a lot of placements that I've noticed that kind of this also started me wanting to know about past life regressions. But I have a lot of placements that I've noticed in the astro community. People talk about like placements of people talk about you, or people unfairly judge you, or have the wrong idea about you, just shit like that. I have like so many of those placements in my chart. And it's funny to me because it is something I've been dealing with my whole fucking life, like, just the rumor mill. And it's fine, I'm used to it. But there are some things in the past that it does bother me because I didn't do that. And it's just like somebody having that idea about anyway. But like I relate it to, I was like, I know this has to do with the past life. It just feels so fucking karmic. And I started reading Stephanie one time, and that's how we stumbled on the Salem shit. And because I felt like there was a life that was tied to something where I started a rumor and about her, and it completely destroyed her. It destroyed my father. It just destroyed everything for many people. And I am just kind of like dealing with the repercussions of that. And I feel like there's another life tied into that a little bit, but it's just like, I don't know, like there's a lot of karma surfacing for me this year. Like I have just been really thinking about it a lot, especially since that asylum life. Like I just wonder like the role that I've played in the past, because now I'm seeing it on the other side, I had a past life where I cheated on the love of my life. And now in this life, I have who I thought was the love of my life, thinking I cheated on him. When I was deployed, I got cheated on and it fucking wrecked me. But he never really, I think it's something he just thinks I did. And he just came to fuck me and that was it. Like I saw him a couple times before he went to Japan and that was it. So I don't
Mm.
know what's in his head. It's funny you bring that up because I've been thinking about that a lot lately too. Like it's been really bothering me, mainly because I don't know, the person is a good guy.
I mean, yeah, that totally sucks to have someone or think that someone or people were in their ear about you, you know.
Yeah,
It's hurtful that.
well, I do remember, okay, so there was this situation I'm not going into, but he questioned me about, and I think he thought more was going on than what really happened. And plus the people in his ear were lying through their fucking teeth. And so, because that's the problem is, like I know deployment brain, and I just did not want any of that remotely entering into his head because it's the furthest thing from the truth.
Right.
But it's like, the homie's halfway around the world. There's really nothing I could do. Just let him, like, you really do. You just got to let them live with whatever version of you they have in their head. It
Yeah.
just sucks because you know, if you're gonna hate me for something I actually did to you.
Right.
Hate me because I moved into your apartment without your permission. Yeah. That was kind
Why
of
was he so mad about it?
about the apartment.
Yeah.
Oh, because he was deployed. It was a huge mess. Okay, so it was a huge mess made bigger by the fucking dill hole that was living there. Like there, okay, so him and his roommate deployed. And his roommate, rather than just paying his fucking rent while he's gone, he sublets his apartment to somebody. And he sublets it to a guy who lives in the building who then sublets his place to somebody else. It was the biggest shit show, but whatever. Um, and so there was a guy already there, and I had nothing. And I was like, fucking, it was just such a shit show. And so I show up and it just turns into this big fucking mess. And mind you, communication on the boat went out for like a month. Okay. They were in a dark zone. And he had to use like this satellite phone from the commander of the ship kind of thing to call me. He was so fucking pissed at me. When
Why?
I
Because he
tell
was
you,
embarrassed or
oh yeah. Oh yes. He does not like negative press. He doesn't handle bad PR well. Like, of course he wanted to break up with me. I completely made him look bad. Yeah, like that's why he's pissed. And the guy at the house was saying that I was like bringing guys to the beach and like I had guys over. And then his buddy's in his ear saying that I was like leaving the bar with people and like all this crazy shit.
Do you think there would be miscommunications or misunderstandings around the apartment situation?
Yeah, like he thinks that because he did question me on that. He's like, I heard you're bringing people, you're seeing people here and doing this and doing that. But that was
What'd you
it.
say when he said that?
I was like, no, it's fucking retarded. I was like,
But you don't
I,
think he believed you?
no, because he's on deployment. I know what deployment brain does to you, I
Right.
know because I just know what that does to you. So I think
Mm-hmm.
I think he still holds on to that,
Mm-hmm.
like I think in the back of his head. Because I mean I saw him a little bit after the fact and which was cool, but like,
When was the last time you guys seen each other?
oh my God, so fucking long ago. Like, I don't
I
even
mean, what
know.
was the situation?
Booty call.
Oh, so you guys left on decent terms?
Yeah, I mean it wasn't, but he like ran far and fast for me. I like he wasn't prepared for my intensity. Like I still like tried to keep in contact with him, and he just kind of disappeared. He didn't really want to talk to me after that because
Hmm.
he went off and did his thing, and it's whatever. But like I don't know. I don't know why I care so much. I just do, because he was still a good one, and we had something. I thought I liked it, because I don't know. I felt that was another situation where I felt helpless a little bit because it's like instead of like me being gone, it's like, if you could just come back, we could talk face to face about this, kind of thing.
Yeah,
But
that's what happened with my first marriage too. It's really difficult when they're far away and they have people in their ear and you can't
yeah,
have
you can't
communication.
can't get through to them, yeah. And
Yeah.
well, and a lot of it too is that, like I noticed they all had this idea about women. And there was a
Hmm.
part of me that felt like him and his friends were waiting for me to fail.
Hmm.
And yeah, it just kind of, because that situation with the apartment wasn't pretty, but it wasn't like,
But you also have to remember that everything happens for a reason. And there must have been something driving behind that, you know,
yeah, yeah, there is, like everything's just about growth, and because I think about that, like I expected him to just fix everything. I was like, I saw visions and I expected him to just fix everything. And that's not how it works, and so it's like I kind of everybody was abandoning me until I started to stop like everybody just abandons you because you're abandoning yourself, it's just a reflection of yourself, and so I had to go inward and it took a long fucking time to realize that, but it took losing like the love to kind of get shock you into fucking gear. So I don't even know why I care so fucking much.
yeah, there's just certain people that, you may not spend a long time with them, but they just
Get under your skin
stick.
and stay there.
Yeah. It's like something implants in your brain and you just can't ever fully let them go. It's time for a vibe check.
Vibe
Vibe
check.
check.
It's a vibe.
Vibes all day.
I'm digging your vibe, baby.
We're each going to pull some oracle cards to read what is the vibe of the week.
Hell yeah, let's see what the current energetic vortex has for us today.
I am pulling a card from the Beyond Lemuria Oracle deck, and I pulled Transformation, self nurturing, going within, time alone, being present with your feelings, cocooning before the butterfly, being gentle on yourself, angelic embrace. And it's a picture of, she looks kind of like part mermaid, part bird. She has feathers, but also fins. And she's kind of hugging herself and she's kind of surrounded by these feathers, kind of cocooned by her feathers, as it was saying, and as it was saying a moment ago. So it says, this painting started with the name. I needed a hug, so I painted one. During the creation process, the image underwent a profound transformation that paralleled the journey I was taking deep within myself. This card signifies going inward and being truly present with wherever you are at in your process. It emits a sense of self, nurture, and space that is held as a container for our delicate and vulnerable gestation periods. The final image is filled with blessings, like an angelic embrace. This care emanates from the being, implying that she is creating it for herself. The most powerful healing comes from a place of presence and acceptance for all that doesn't try to fix anything or push things away. Divinatory meaning. Feel whatever you need to feel. It may be hard to be present with some parts of yourself. Bring them into a cocoon of gentle self love and reflection, and insight will come. The shadows can be released, and your heart space will soften. Cry or be angry if this is what you are holding on to, and laugh at the hilarious, ironic, divine perfection of it all. This card beckons you beyond your constructed outer self, where you can delve into the beautiful abyss of your being. Revel in the twilight before the dawn and let your wings unfurl.
That was the cool card. I love that. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was a little deep.
That's
Like,
deep,
whoa.
man.
That was yeah, touched on.
But mine I pulled from the same animal spirit deck, and I pulled the Nightingale. The song of the nightingale is otherworldly. This simple brown bird, almost unnoticeable among the flashy plumage of other birds, transports its listener to the realm of poetry. Nightingale energy is with us when we write, compose, and especially when we sing. It reminds us that music heals the deepest wounds. This card indicates a need to open the bridge between the heart and the voice. Is there something you need to say? How long has it been since you sang? Turn it up, write it down, and let it out. Speak
That's
your
awesome.
truth, girl.
I love
Everybody.
that one. It's actually, that's interesting because I haven't had a singing day. I was trying to start my day 1 or 2 days a week with singing because it like gets me so high basically.
Yeah.
And I haven't. And I wonder if I was just thinking that this morning that I needed to do that. I've been playing my tongue drum in the mornings and I've really been enjoying that. I've been getting better. I've not mastered, but I've
I am the
got
master now.
well, so when I was camping, the only song I really could get down was 1,000 Years. And now I have True Colors. I have Sia, Titanium. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I can't.
Oh,
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
the sound
Da-da-da-da.
of silence.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
Sorry, I had to go through it too.
Me too.
I fucking love the harmonies and the rises and falls. Like I just love how that song is sung.
Yeah, I've
Like
gotten that song stuck in my head several times because it's just there's something about the flow of it.
yeah, I know. It just is so good. It's moved me to tears before,
Yeah,
okay?
me too.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Is that who sings that song? Isn't
I
that
don't
a
know.
Doors song originally?
Oh, it's it. Yeah, I don't know. The book that I'm playing out of doesn't even say anything about the songs. It doesn't have the lyrics or anything. It's just literally, it's the worst freaking music book ever, but I'm figuring it out.
Dude, well that reminds because it's so funny that you sang that because but then again, I don't know if it's not a Doors song, then this isn't a cool synchronicity or it's just dumb. But like if it is, I was literally thinking about this today. There was this time I was at the Pally and I was so drunk, like wine drunk. My teeth were purple, drunk. And fucking I was sending obnoxious Snapchats to my friends because it's just me, I'm just fucking cool like that. There was the Doors were playing and I always like to Weird Al Yankovic songs, and
hmm
I'm like I gotta do this if I can. I was like, it's that song that's like, I was all, hey, you out there all alone, and you're looking at your phone for the Stephanie. But
Looks like Simon and Garfunkel is the original ones that wrote it and sang it, and then it looks like Disturbed did a cover.
yeah, fuck them. I can't stand that band. They're so fucking annoying. They bug
Disturbed.
me. Yeah, they bug me. They bug me like fucking Creed. They're just so glorified. Like, oh God, I'm
Oh.
so good. I'm so angsty. Like, I have so much pain and I'm gonna write about it.
Right.
Sorry to all of our Disturbed fans out there.
I saw them live. I went to a Corn and Disturbed concert. It was like five different bands in Arco Arena. I think that's the concert that I jumped in the mosh pit and I came out on the other side right next to John Davis because I was like a diehard Corn fan in high school. And I spent the rest of the concert like 5 feet from John Davis, just staring up at him and singing every word with him. I was so fucking stoked. It was the coolest shit ever. We had box seats.
Oh
And
yeah.
when Korn came out, I stayed up at the top. I didn't really care about going in the mosh pit for Disturbed, but when Korn came out, Jenna was with me actually, and it's Korn is not her thing, but she went with me because we had box seats. The casino was giving away, they had got a box and was letting customers pick tickets for events through the year. Because when you have a box, you get like, I don't know, 15 or 20 tickets for every single event for the year. And nobody wanted the Corn and Disturb tickets. And so any tickets that were left right before an event, they gave them away to us for free, the employees, if you had the day off and you had to pay the taxes on it. So
Oh
that year
yeah.
I went to so many fucking concerts. It was badass. But yeah. But yeah, I jumped in the fucking mosh pit, got hella elbowed in my tits, but at least I can say I jumped in a mosh pit at a Corn concert. And then the icing on the cake was that I got to be right next to John Davis.
Yeah, you will never catch me in a mosh pit. Hell to the no.
Yeah, I was like one of the only girls in Orleans growing up that would mosh with like the older boys because they would always like have they would get their novelty like one or two songs at the local dances where there'd be like five guys like Divas and Butthead style just all like standing throughout the whole dance floor and like just banging their head upside down and then they would like spin around and slam into each other. And I would jump in with them when I was that age too, because I thought it was fun. So me and my brother used to sumo wrestle all the time though. So there's something about slamming into dudes as hard as I can, letting me get out that like frustration against the patriarchy.
I wish, dude. Are you kidding me? Yeah. But no, I don't know. I just physical violence just really is triggering for me. Like one time my friend Tanya and I, when we were in Germany, we were goofing around. We were at the BX and we were leaving. We were paying, which the BX is like, like the Walmart or some shit,
Uh-huh.
on base, whatever.
I
Anyway.
love it. It's fun to shop
Oh
there.
yeah, I know. I love shopping there. Are you kidding me? And she like I play punched her, she play punched me. I can't remember, but we kept punching each other back and forth and she kept punching me harder. And eventually it just like I was like, okay, like you got to stop. Like this is too much.
Yeah.
And she kept punching me. I was like, I'm serious, bro. We're done.
Right.
I don't know. I just can't do physical violence. I
Yeah.
like you'll never catch me in a mosh pit. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
we were
like,
pretty good. We would try not to like punch each other. We would mostly like, like you run and like body
no, I
slam,
think
like
it's
jump at
cool
the
as
same
shit what you
time.
guys
Yeah.
do. I'm just a pussy. Like, I think it's cool as shit. I'm just the biggest pussy. Like, also roller derby. I wish I had the balls for
Oh,
roller
yeah,
derby.
me too.
That's like so badass, but I'm just such a pussy. I just can't. I like don't
Yeah.
like be
By
hurt.
the time that I realized that Eureka had a roller derby team, I was already quite a bit older. And I went roller skating a lot as a kid, in America and in Australia. That was like the thing to do on Friday night over there as well. And so I was pretty good at it. And then I hadn't skated for a long time. And then I went to the freaking Blue Lake roller skating rink with my friend because it had been closed for a while and they opened it back up. And I straight up did like a cartoon fall, like feet slipping out
Like
underneath
the
you, and you're like, yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, and
Go
you
on.
like fly up in the air, and then you like come down directly on my fucking. Fractured my tailbone,
I was
and
just
I
gonna ask,
couldn't.
did you break your butt?
Yeah,
Oh
I had to sit
God.
on a donut for like 6 months, and man, road
Oh.
trips or driving was a fucking nightmare. It
Oh
was
my God, I
just,
bet.
it
Because
was
that already
awful.
hurts your ass anyway.
Yeah.
Like fuck that. Oh girl, that sucks.
Yeah, so it sucks because I really loved it, but I'm too brittle now.
I
I
know
get
what you mean.
injured much easier now that, yeah, that we're getting older. It's a,
Oh yeah, it shows up on the evidence shows up more.
yeah. And it's a lot
Yeah.
harder getting up once you fall.
Oh my God, dude, it's hard getting up when I'm just sitting working on something and then I go to walk and my feet are like, oh wait, I gotta warm up, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But
Like, what the fuck?
yeah, it sucks. I'm starting to learn what parts of my body are gonna go bad first. And my grandma, she's got bad feet, and I fear that's my fate. Like it's already
Yeah,
started. I love my high heel shoes, and I swear to God, you'll have to like pry them out of my cold, dead feet, but I fear that my days of high heels are kind of coming to
I
an end.
know.
Because
I'm same boat.
like I'm wrecked. Because before like the worst that's ever happened is if I had like these killer heels, and maybe my feet hurt the next day a little bit. But the fucking now, dude, I wear crazy heels and my feet are dead for a few days. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh
A lot of it
shit.
is building up those muscles that for the heels also.
Well,
But
that's
yeah,
true. When I wear heels all the time, yeah, that's one thing. But I haven't worn heels in forever.
yeah, you have to build that shit back up.
Oh yeah, my feet are like, whoa, what's happening? What's going on?
Yeah. Yeah, being a blackjack dealer for 17 years, I have a killer selection of fucking phenomenal stilettos.
Oh girl.
Really, and I had a hard time once I broke my ankle. I had a hard time wearing them because it puts pressure on my ankle in a way that is incredibly painful. But I could still do heels if I have like a boot or something that gives a little bit more ankle support.
Uh-huh.
But if I'm wearing heels and I start drinking, the ankle that I broke rolls really easily. And that's how I broke it was in fucking heels. My friends, like I rolled it one night going to the bars and they didn't want to go home. So they made me put my shoes back on and keep going. And we couldn't go in the bars unless I had my shoes on. And so basically I like rolled my ankle like, I don't know, 8 times that night because I just kept falling and falling because it was so bad and I was like blacked out drunk
Wow.
and it was really fucking bad. And yeah, so because they say once you like roll your ankle, those muscles like will continue to roll for the rest of your life
Oh yeah.
unless you put a lot
I've
of
heard
effort into strengthening them.
the
But
physical
yeah,
therapy. Yeah, I've heard
yeah.
that too.
It's really hard when you're the one that's in it though, because then you have the psychological aspects behind it. But
Well, and you know what? I wonder how much of what we learn. Well, I know because I've even heard this from other people too, is like what you learn in other lives, your soul keeps with you, your soul remembers.
yeah,
And I can spot that shit too. And I wonder if it's just because I have my psychologist brain, like
right.
I understand the depths of the human brain, and
It
yeah.
came so easy to me. Like psychology was like it was actually like
Hmm.
fun instead of like it wasn't like I was having to learn. It was like it all made sense. It
Oh
made like
yeah.
certain pieces click and I was just
Because
like I knew it.
Yeah, because
You
I
know.
didn't go as deep as you went, but I did in my psychology classes. And because psychology was my first major, but I did it online, and it's just hard to teach yourself that.
Right.
And but yeah, like it came second nature to me. It was so easy. Yeah, and fun. Yeah, that's the best way to describe it. Yeah. Yeah, like I could spot that shit. I mean, I am glad that psychology and mental health is a huge, like, is popular now. However, I really hate how there's all these internet psychologists, and like everyone's a narcissist and everyone's, toxic and everyone's this and that. And it's like, I just hate all the psychology, but it's just crazy. Everybody has something
Yeah.
nowadays. But then again, maybe everybody does. And we're just able to, we just need to label it. You know what I mean? Like people just need
Yeah.
something to call it. Because I think that's more correct. You know what I mean? Is finally
Just more
everybody,
awareness.
yeah, and it's more acceptable now to have, you know, issues. Like you don't have to fucking be perfect anymore, like
Yeah. The
because
social stigma of and then trying to hide it and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, because when I was younger and I had to take Adderall, oh my God, yeah. I fucking hated it. And I didn't take it a lot. In fact, I got in a lot of trouble for my dad. Yeah, I hated it. And I sometimes people would like treat me like shit, at school. Like, have you taken your chill pill? And I fucking
Right.
I fucking hate that. That's very triggering for me. The chill
Yeah, just like,
pill.
well, invalidates any emotions or any experience
Hmm.
when people just like chalk everything up to your whatever label that they've given you.
The
Yeah.
fucking the stigma with everybody. Oh, they think you're nuts and you're crazy. But now everybody's got ADHD and nobody gives a fuck.
I also
Because
wonder though if the increase in ADHD is also our society and things like that. Like our society has rapidly changed so significantly that I don't think I was necessarily what I consider ADHD as a kid, but as I've gotten older, I definitely like am textbook like all the criteria. And what's weird is that I didn't think it when I was in college. But is it our society? Is it because
how scattered you are with, and not in a bad way. I mean, like how much shit you have going on. Like
right.
that's an ADHD brain. Like if you've
Yeah.
if you've always been like that, then
Yeah.
then yeah, you've always had it. It was just undiagnosed. I was just diagnosed really young because oh yeah, this is what I was gonna say with the fucking like anytime you have any kind of an emotional outburst or you laugh so loud or you're just talkative or you're really social, like we need to calm down. You need to chill out. Here, take this pill and become a zombie. And like my grandpa was diagnosed as an adult and him and I bonded on that. And there was one time we were talking and he asked me if I liked taking the Ritalin and I was like, no. And he asked me why. And I was like, because it makes me boring. And
Right.
I hated it. Granted, when I was in college, I needed that shit. Like that fucking major was so technical and complicated that I needed the focus. Like that helped me immensely. But that's the only fucking time in my life that I've ever liked taking it. I don't know. I just
Yeah,
hate
I
the
often wonder if like the way our society is rapidly changing though, like we just have information flying at us from every angle, like advertisements
well, yeah, they're
and the
trying to
way
get
cell
us to have a
phones
short
and
attention span. Yeah.
right. And
They're
so the whole ADHD and more people is that being engineered intentionally, you
hmm
know, and our brains are naturally reacting to the environment around us because this is intentional to get
hmm
everyone on that level.
exactly. Because then maybe they can control them better. Just keep
Right.
their attention bouncing from one thing to the next. Follow
Exactly.
follow the dopamine, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm eating a spicy mango.
Oh, dude, those rip my mouth up.
Mm. I know. They hurt so good.
Dude, it's so weird. I was eating this sour Abba Zaba taffy or
Mm.
whatever. It
Mm.
like completely reformatted my taste buds. Like I now, well, not now. I've since stopped being such a little bitch. But I couldn't eat spicy food like a little white girl, from Utah. I'm like, what's happening to me? But now I could eat spicy. But yeah, for a little while, I'm talking a couple years, I couldn't eat spicy food at all from this
Mm.
stupid sour Abba Zaba bar.
Mm.
So weird.
Yeah.
It was so good too, dude. That's I love sour candy. Like that was so fucking good. But yeah. It killed me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm addicted to it's like my grocery shopping treat. I reward myself for having to people because Winco
That's
is
my I take a
really, really people-y.
That's when I take a hit of weed when I get home. That's my reward. I'm like, I get
Oh,
one disassociation.
I smoke the whole way there. I smoke in the
The
parking
whole way
lot.
back.
I smoke as soon as I get back
I
in the
can't
car.
I can't smoke the whole way there because then I'm just walking around like a fucking idiot. I'm like
Oh
looking at
yeah.
everything and I'm like, is this on my list? And I got like my list in my hand and I'm like, do I need this? It's like, I don't know, Stephanie, why don't you just look down?
Would
But
this bring me joy? Yes, it will bring me joy.
and that's another thing. The shit that brings me joy is fucking cinnamon rolls, pizza, fucking cookies,
Right?
ice cream, cake. But obviously,
Yeah,
cake is
that's called
already
joyful
made.
grocery shopping.
That's called stupid.
I
When you
should make
when you
TikTok
have
videos.
when you have a family, that's just called stupid. Like you could totally get away with it when I was in college. That's how I shopped. Oh man.
Yeah, I mean that's the great thing about being childless and old is that you still get to shop like you're in your 20s.
Right. I know once my daughters age out of the system, I'll be able to start shopping like a jackass again. I remember when I was little, like my mom would buy like a dozen donuts and she'd let me have one and I'd want another and she'd like, no, you can't, like just wait or it's, just one, and I
Yeah,
remember thinking, when I'm an adult, I'm gonna buy a box of donuts. I'm gonna eat the whole thing when I get home.
right.
Like just out of spite. It's like, yeah, you're gonna eat like that.
Well, they're not good the next day, so
Right? They gotta be fresh.
that's why the Costco, sorry, my mouth is on fucking fire. Woo! The Costco croissants are so dangerous
Oh, shut
because
up.
you
I
get a
love
dozen of
those.
them,
Yes.
but they're not very good after, like, okay, maybe the next day, but after that, I won't eat them.
I know,
They're
like
not
I
good.
I like making ham and Swiss sandwiches with those, and so I might have to make those and then like freeze them or some shit. That'd be kind of good.
Oh my fucking God. That's a fucking spicy ass mango.
That was a spicy biryani. I've been talking to this one chick that was part of the scene. She wasn't a DJ or anything. She just came and danced and she was such a sweetheart and everybody loves her. She's such a sweetheart. But anyway, I talked to her randomly and I'm like, yeah, next time I'm in San Diego, we have to go dance. And like, I think you should come with me. We should all go to like do a girls trip or something.
San
But
Diego.
I
I
don't
have a
know.
friend that frequents San Diego to go to sex clubs.
What?
Yeah, that's
Oh
like the
shit.
reason she goes to San Diego is to go to these like private invitation only sex clubs that are in like these really big like mansion warehouses or they and then they move
Oh
them, but
my fucking God. That
yeah,
is
and every room's like a different like thing going on. She's considered a unicorn because she'll fuck a dude or a chick and she's single. So,
wow. Well, yeah, definitely a unicorn.
but yeah, it's pretty interesting
How
hearing
does she
the
get in?
stories and
How
stuff.
did she get into that? That is crazy to me.
She
That
got
is,
invited in like, I don't know, 12, 15 years ago
wow.
from another friend that was into the scene. And I don't think that friend actually participates anymore, but she made her own friends in the scene and goes down there a couple times a year to
Have
party.
sex. That's insane. I don't know. I have some like the poly scene is like crazy. Like everybody's so open about it and like all about it. It's really crazy to me how many people are into that. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
it would
just
never work for us, but
hell fucking no, dude. Are you kidding me? I
I mean, more power to other people that are into that lifestyle. I find it pretty fascinating. especially when I used to trim back during Prohibition and I would trim for hours and hours and make thousands of dollars. I would listen to this podcast that talked a lot about open relationships and poly relationships and just all different kinds of relationships, basically. And it was really fascinating to me. But I think it's fascinating because I'm not capable of that. So I don't really,
It's just
I'm
something so
interested in
different
what,
from
yeah,
my values. Yeah, because I find it fascinating too. I've had friends tell me stuff.
yeah,
Like I had some friends, they were married, but they had a girlfriend together.
hmm,
They were a couple and it was
yeah,
their girlfriend together. And I would just ask, like he told me, I asked him all these questions about like their rules and like the this and the that. And his answer to everything is like, we just put it on the table. And if it's not on the table, then it doesn't happen. I'm like,
yeah.
interesting. Like, oh my God,
Mm.
yeah, I find it really fascinating that people can do that, you know.
Well, and I've also witnessed people that attempted to do it and it almost destroyed their marriage because
Well,
once
yeah.
people's emotions get involved, the rules go out the window.
Well, I've seen people try to do it, and it's like, what are you doing? Like
Yeah.
literally sabotaging each other's dates, and like it's just
Oh, yeah.
I've seen
Or
weird stuff.
when
Yeah,
the husband builds a stronger connection with the girlfriend than the wife or things like that, you know.
yeah.
It kind of, if there's cracks in a relationship, it really shines light on
Yeah,
them.
it's a jackhammer to the
Yeah.
relationship. Yeah, I know. That's like I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm like lost in thought because I'm really high right now. But like I just find that kind of sexuality very interesting. I find all sexuality very interesting, mainly because I just have I'm like so awkward at it. Like I mean, I'm sorry, I'm thinking about it astrologically because that's how my brain is wired. But like I do think about like polyamory and how you can see it astrologically. Like some people really are hardwired for that.
Oh,
And
really?
oh yeah, like there's certain Venus placements and house placements and this and that, you know. Because like when you have stelliums in certain houses, like it's just this concentration of energy, and people think like, oh, it's great. It's like, no, the concentration of energy is because you're like trying to work through that house. I don't know how to
Mm,
explain that very well, but like
mm-hmm.
it's like I see people who don't get married or have kids, or people who don't have kids. They have a lot going on in their fifth house of children. And
Mm,
see, like me, I have a lot of issues surrounding the intimacy of things, like between a lover, between a friend, a parent, you know, emotional intimacy, physical intimacy. And I got hella shit going on in my eighth house of intimacy.
mm,
However, that concentration of energy could still be a good thing because I still am good at eighth house things because it still rules like, you know, the occult and stuff like that. And like the fifth house rules creativity. You have a lot going on in your fifth house, you know, so that does explain why you feel the way you do about kids. Like you have hella going on in your fifth house.
mm,
So yeah, like that. And you know, I see people with like hella fourth house stuff and 10th house because that's the same axis. But like I see people with like a lot of shit like that, and they're the ones coming here to break generational stuff. They're the ones that
mm,
because those are the generational houses, and
mm.
it's you're here to change the cycle, you
Me?
know. No, not you. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm talking just people with a lot of fourth house stuff.
Oh,
Sorry,
okay.
I'm just giving examples of
Right,
random.
right.
Yeah. It's funny. I've seen placements that like illustrate people being famous in a past life. You can have like a lot of shit going on in like your public houses, and that could like denote fame, you know, people, or not necessarily like fame, but like people in your community know who you are, like you're well known among
Hmm.
everybody kind of thing. Like it's really fascinating the shit you can see in a natal chart. Because there was one time I had to break it down because I could not find it and I couldn't trace it. But I wanted to explain my hair. I wanted to explain how I could have such thick, luxurious hair and how I could be so obsessed with it. Like I'm obsessed with the health of my hair.
Dude, so I had a light bulb go off last night and I wanted to mention it to you because I have this thing about having my hair cut and So when I was little, my mom cut my hair off because it was curly and she couldn't brush it, and I had a tender head. And I always thought that my issues with my hair being cut off stemmed from that, but I think it stems from past lives. And then last night I was watching a show and they were talking about the Viking women and their hair. So Viking men were like known for being like really clean and like smelled good and had really, really good hygiene and stuff.
Hell yeah.
And it was because they had this mixture of like three things. It was like rosemary, two or three things, some sort of ash and something. And it made their hair like not frizzy, and it like lightened it and kept it from like getting dirty easily or something. And that the Viking women had like they believed that their power came from their hair, so that's why they all had like really long hair. And I've always like ever since I heard that about the Native Americans believing that you get your a lot of wisdom and intuition from your hair, like through your hair, and having long hair is like a psychic intuitive thing. But then they also cut their hair off whenever they have a death in the family and start over too. So, but I just thought that was really interesting. It like kind of lit a little light bulb off in my head, and I was like, I wonder if that's where my obsession with having my hair long comes from,
Let
is
me
like
look,
a
because
Viking life.
Leo rules hair. Like, hello,
Oh,
the mane of hair.
oh, okay. That's interesting.
I know, okay, right? I was trying to trace that because I was like, okay, Aries rules the head, but I was like, Aries is intercepted in my chart, meaning the energy is stunted. And or I don't know, I'm still trying to learn about
Would
interceptions.
that explain like your
I have my
processing and stuff?
I have my no, that's Gemini,
Oh, okay.
and third house and stuff like that. But I'm looking around your chart. I don't see any interceptions in your chart. So anyway, but I was trying to like see where my that was just the first one that fascinated me is why am I so obsessed with my hair and like what explains why it's so fucking thick.
What'd you figure out?
I figured out that, okay, so I know that Leo rules the hair. So I looked at what house Leo is ruling in my chart, and there's nothing going on in Leo. So I'm like,
Hmm.
okay. So then I look to Leo's ruler, which is the sun, and I see where I see where the sun is sitting in my chart. And the sun is in my sixth house of health. I'm obsessed with the health of my hair. So boom. But also the natural my sun sign is in Sagittarius, but Scorpio rules that house, and Scorpio rules obsession. So that explains the obsession. And I'm sorry, I just got a flash of Rachel on Friends when she's like talking about how Ross is obsessed with her since high school. And she's like, the obsession grows. I'm sorry, that just flashed in my head. But anyway, that's how I think I found it, is because Leo rules the sun. And if there's nothing going on in Leo in your chart, then look where the sun is sitting in your chart. And so it's in the house of health, and that house is ruled by Scorpio. So I'm like, okay, there we go. But
Hmm.
you could also look at the degree, because when we were talking a couple episodes back, you were talking about how you are like your empath skills, and I was trying to explain your empath skills astrologically. And it's yes, it's a little bit that you're a mutable rising, but your sun is in a Pisces degree, which means you take on the characteristics of who you're around. Pisces are like the mirrors or the sponges. They have no bound, and not in a bad way. I mean, that can be in a bad way, but not in a bad way. You just blend and it's fluid. And when I saw that in your chart, I was like, oh yeah, that's also why.
Hmm.
I don't know. I just really love it. Like you could like put on paper like some of your quirks and little nuances about yourself. Because then
Hmm.
when you add asteroids to the mix, that's when it gets really fun. Because I have this list of asteroids I need to bust out, and I want to like teach. I think after I'm done with the planets in the houses, I may do like a series on like each of the signs, so to do the signs too. And then after that, I want to do content about the asteroids. Like they're so much fun and it really punctuates shit. But you could see where they all fall in your chart and then interpret them that way and like punctuate stories with it. Because there's like karma, there's fate, there's an asteroid called destiny, there's asteroids about sexuality, there's asteroids about like your kinky shit, there's asteroids about how you are at work, the type of parent you are. There's ones about the gods and stuff and how their influence over you is and shit like that. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. You should do a course that's like how to read your own star chart or
Um,
something like that, you know?
well, yeah, that's what this course is going to be. It's just
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just teaching you about because like I have yeah, like week one is the introduction to astrology. So you're gonna understand like what astrology is and the roots, differentiate between astronomy and astrology. And then it like gave me key topics to go over, like discussions. And then the next week we'll do the zodiac signs. They can identify all 12, they can learn the elements, the modalities. And then the next one after that will be the planets. And after that will be houses. And then after that will be aspects, the geometry that all these planets are doing with each other. Those are the aspects. The natal chart interpretation, which by the way, I like am all about like letting people do them and say how they want to say, but it's kind of driving me crazy when you call it a star chart because it's called a natal chart. Like star signs and star chart, that's like pop astro. Like that's not, those aren't terms in the astrology world. But you call them that. I don't want to tell you not to, but I just wanted to put that out there. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make a joke out of it. Please don't be mad at me.
No, I didn't know.
No, I know you didn't know. I know. That's why when you say it, I just am like, it's cool. It's cool. It's not that serious. It's not that serious.
Well, like it's like when I first started quilting and we first got our quilt shop, and I would say blanket all the time. And people let me do it for like a fucking year before they told me that like you don't do that in the quilt community. They are quilts. They are pieces of art. And you do not call your quilts blankets, and you definitely don't refer to someone else's quilt as a
Oh
blanket.
my
And
God. Oh
especially
my
if it
God.
was gifted, if it was a gift for you.
Oh my God. The disrespect.
Yeah.
I bet.
And I
Oh my
had
God.
no idea. Like, I didn't know. And I
Oh,
should know because I own a quilt shop, right? But
I
like, we
know, I
just
know,
fucking
right?
bought it. Like,
Oh God, that's so funny. That cracks me up. That's like the fucking DJ scene. You can't call it a hobby. It's not a hobby. It's like, all right, thanks. I can only imagine the quilt one. That one cracks me up.
yeah.
But that's also, it's like, yeah, like how'd you let me go a year? Like just tell, it's like you let me go a year with food on my face.
Right. Right. Like, if I'm saying something that makes me look like an idiot, tell me. Especially if it's something I don't know yet, you know?
I know, same here. Like if I'm pronouncing a word wrong, especially that kind of shit, because I just really love words and grammar and I love jokes about words and grammar. And if I'm doing it wrong, it's like devastating to me.
Yeah, like I really, really, really hate misspelling things or
Oh
like
God,
using
mortified. Yeah.
voice text and then they use like the wrong version of like there or
I know.
something, you know? And then
Like
I
right now
don't
this
notice
person thinks
it.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah. And then especially if I don't notice it and it's in like an ad or something that I post or reels, you can't go back and edit the caption.
Mm-mm.
Once it's there, it's there.
Yeah.
And
Same with Instagram. I know, same with Instagram. Same with like even if it's like in one of the comments, like you can't go back and edit the comment. So it's like either erase it and retype it
yeah.
or deal with it.
There has been times when it was so bad I just deleted the video and reposted
I've done that
it.
before too. Yeah, I would sooner die if people think I'm that fucking stupid.
Because I think that of other people when I see
I
it.
do too. Yeah, like oh, you must have went to public school. Even though so did I.
And I know that's like elitist and it's like fucked up or whatever. But yeah, I don't care.
I know, I don't care either. I am a grammar Nazi. I'm that grammar Nazi. And yeah, it drives me nuts. Sometimes I won't post memes that have misspellings or poor punctuation because I don't want people to think I'm stupid.
Sometimes I will remake the meme with the proper spelling so that I can post it.
Other times I'll put like if the joke's that funny, if it's like really funny, sometimes I'll sacrifice it for the joke, you know. Like that fucking time we were high as shit talking about fucking particles and shit. Like I almost didn't put that in, but it was like it was so funny. Like sometimes you got to sacrifice, you know, your brains for a joke because the joke is all that matters.
Well, I don't hardly ever share things from a page anymore. Save whatever the meme is to my phone and post it because I was going back through my own page looking for something that I had posted. So many of the random memes or things that I shared from other pages were content not available. And so like I was like, what the fuck? So and then I just lose whatever I thought was funny or whatever I thought was cool or informative or whatever it may be, you know.
Oh yeah.
So now I just save that shit and share it like directly from myself because I don't like that. I don't like that people
Yeah.
post things and then delete them like that
I
after
know
we've shared
sometimes
them.
I know for real because sometimes like yeah, I usually when I'm posting memes straight up, those are ones that I've like got off of Instagram or
Yeah.
like I go to Instagram, find my memes and just scatter them all over Facebook like Regina George at the end of Mean Girls.
And yeah, finding the peace or the happiness inside of you. I feel
Oh
like lately
yeah.
that's been my thing is that was the whole point of the Egypt life, right? Was to find joy despite lack and despite loss. Finding the goal or finding the prize before I don't know how to explain it, but yeah.
No, I know what you mean. Like not re even just not relying on others for that external bullshit, like finding it within yourself.
Yeah.
Everything you need is within yourself. Like even if it's like like fucking I didn't know what to do about this fucking plant, so I asked my higher self in meditation and she told me.
Nice.
You know, so it's like I think just learning how to do shit like that, like going within yourself. Because
Uh-huh.
even when I was in college, I remember I needed help on that song that like the space between. And
Uh-huh.
I all my buddies just happened to be busy. We never had time to link up and like me pick their brain and help me through, you know, whatever. Because this was a complicated song, you know. And I was forced to figure it out on my own, you know. I had to like just figure it out, you know, because I wanted my buddy Brad to help me with this part in the beat, like make a fucking beat, right? And then my buddy Domar, there was this like a melodic section I needed his advice on, but he happened to be busy. And I did get help with the guitar because Anthony, you know, he played the guitar, but that was it. I had to figure out all of the shit. If I had mixing questions, my teacher did get with me and that was cool. But like, other than that, like I literally had to figure all that shit out on my own, and I'm really proud that I did. Because when I presented it in class, it was so cute. When I sat down, Domar's like, I heard him say, he was like, "Yeah, I taught her everything she knows." And I was like, "Oh, are you trying to take credit for my work?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's good." It was cool.
Yeah, it's it's learning to get through those things without the crutches. Like with the flying dresses, the fact that I always did it with and that I really relied on her like to help me make the dresses for the new people and that I actually am capable of doing it myself. I'm like really afraid to. I don't know why I have such a mental block about learning how to make the dresses. I make the skirts, but I have not made the dresses. I'm really intimidated by clothing. And uh
Well, I have been a seamstress before. I could totally help you.
right. And I guess I have been in several lifetimes as well, so maybe I need to like just channel it, but maybe it'll come like riding a bike. I don't know. And I just need to do it. That's the photography I really do enjoy is the flying dresses. I
Dude,
could
I
do
would
those all
love
day,
to.
every day.
If you ever need a model, you let me know. I've always wanted to take pictures with those.
I was thinking it'd be really fun to do a shoot at the pumpkin patch with either orange or gold. But the thing is I need people that fit the dresses that I already have, kind of a thing. So I have a variety of different sizes over all of the colors, but basically, if I didn't have a model that booked a certain color, I never made a dress for it. And so I have 5 or 6 colors that I have never made dresses for, that I just have the bolts of silk sitting there to make them. Yeah. It's one of those things that, yeah, I just relied on her so much, and it's been hard to move on without her. And I just need to pick a weekend and just go there and sit down and do it, and then I think that will like get me. I feel like it'll be like going down a hill. Once I get going, I think I'll probably get my momentum and my inspiration back. It's that mental block there and the pain that goes along with it, I used to do it with her, kind of a thing.
No, I feel you. Just trying to find a new groove with it.
And it's a difficult activity to do. You can't do it alone. I can make the dress and all that, but the actual photo shoots, I have to have at least one other person there. Sometimes I have 2 other people there because I have to have people to throw the skirt.
Right? Yeah, totally.
So
Just have the wind do it.
yeah, it flows so much more beautifully if there's no wind that day.
I know. Yeah, I remember you telling me that. That surprises me. That's interesting.
Yeah, because then it more like floats. The wind is kind of like, if you think of like basketball players, like, slamming the basketball out of the hand when you're going up for a shot. That's kind of what the wind does to the skirt. It like makes it so you can't even get it going.
Yeah, that's true. Because at least when you guys are doing that, you can control it,
Yeah. Well, it just is really elegant. If you catch it up, it's like a parachute. Like, the game we used to play. And if there's not wind, then it will like come down really beautifully and like kind of slow and like have all these different really fluid shapes to it. But whenever there's wind, it's really sharp up and sharp down, so you don't get the big, beautiful curves in the skirt that you can get otherwise.
Yeah.
It's really, really fun to work with. So we'll definitely do it whenever I get the courage to fucking make the goddamn dress. And the time, I guess. That's also time.
Right.
Effort,
I just need some of
energy.
that. Give me some of that. We also wanted to let you guys know that if you have any questions about what we talk about, if there's anything that you want to know about the universe, email us at thedeependpodcast2024@gmail.com.
Yeah, totally. We'll do our best to answer your questions, and it'll be fun. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in, listening to our podcast, and following us into the depths of the subconscious and the unknown.
Into the depths of your soul.
Come find me and book a reading on www.mutablemystic.com. Find me on Facebook at Mutable Mystic. You can find me on Instagram at mutable_mystic. Also, if you'd like to check out any of my music, you can find me on SoundCloud /stay STE_music.
And you can find me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook under Quantum Healing with Steph Green, and book your own past life regression session, or you can send me a message on Facebook and we could talk about what you have in mind. And don't forget to like, follow, and share the Deep End Podcast on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. Thanks for tuning in today.
Hell, we can bend your mind next time. Always remember to ground your feet in the dirt and enjoy life with those gratitude glasses on. Catch us on
The Deep End.
The deep end.
Welcome to the Deep End.
The Deep End.
The deep end, bro.
Yeah, brah, deep end.
Deep, man.
Deep End. The Deep End.